It's nice to see you all here. I want to first welcome my fellow members of the Association of Pro Bono Counsel. I'd like to congratulate Michelle, Ariel, or I should congratulate Ariel's parents. I watched you cavelling that whole time. That was wonderful. David, you had me at baseball. Thank you. NLADA this year is thrilled to recognize the winners of the 2024 Beacon of Justice Award for their 2023 efforts addressing issues of civil and human rights. These firms provided pro bono legal assistance to families, individuals, organizations, community groups, and others. This year, NLADA received a record number of nominations with 40 law firms qualifying, a number that shows the depth of the commitment of the private bar to these very challenging issues. These contributions are wide-ranging and encompass complex legal cases and initiatives across a wide number of fields. But let me be very clear, as proud as I am of Akin and my colleagues at other Beacon of Justice firms, we cannot provide pro bono representation without the legal aid community. Legal aid organizations identify clients, develop cases, train and mentor our lawyers, but they do so without adequate financial resources. As David said, we need a pro bono culture, but we also need a legal services funding culture. To lift up what April said, we need money for a fair fight. At the federal level, we need Congress to fully fund the Legal Services Corporation. And at the state and local level, we need to push our representatives to provide the resources that are needed to ensure access to justice for all. So please turn your attention to the screens for a brief introductory film about this year's award winners.
NLADA's Beacon of Justice Awards honor members of the pro bono legal community who are tireless advocates for equal justice. The 2024 awards feature law firms who are addressing issues related to civil and human rights. Congratulations to all this year's winning firms.
We strive to make our clients feel not only supported, but understood, respected, and dignified. I'm impressed every day by the resilience of our clients, and working alongside them is not only a highlight of my day-to-day, but the honor of a lifetime.
The thing that inspires me the most is our people and the willingness to raise our hands and go above and beyond and really out of our way to address pressing needs in our community.
If we are going to be defenders of the law, we have to be defenders for everyone. And prisoner civil rights, you are defending some of the most vulnerable and frankly some of the most forgotten of our population.
It was a great combination, a great collaboration, and I'm really proud of the combined team's efforts on this case, especially Michelle colleagues for jumping in and trying to right a serious injustice that was facing an entire community.
For nearly a century, Paul Weiss has been known for its impactful pro bono efforts to protect human and civil rights, working alongside legal aid groups and civil rights partners.
The work we get to do, and I say get because we are so proud of and so grateful for our pro bono clients, taps into the firm's deep legal expertise and advocacy for the most vulnerable people caught up in one of the most punitive carceral systems in the world. From helping exonerate those who've been wrongfully convicted to supporting sentencing reform efforts, we strive to make a meaningful difference.
Thank you, NLADA, for this recognition, and congratulations to our fellow Beacon of Justice honorees. Fried Frank is proud of our history of pro bono work. At the heart of these efforts is a commitment to advocating for low-income individuals and communities of color navigating legal, immigration, and other racially discriminatory systems.
On behalf of BakerHostetler, I would like to thank the National Legal Aid and Defenders Association for this year's Beacon of Justice Award. At BakerHostetler, pro bono work is a critical part of our culture and our everyday practice.
I think all of our pro bono work really has kind of this human rights, human dignity aspect to it.
Taking on pro bono civil rights cases is hugely important to the mission, to the pro bono service that we believe is important. And in terms of the constitutional cases, the civil rights cases like this, we really believe that the Constitution has to work for everyone or it doesn't work for anyone.
Every day, lawyers, staff, and others at this firm work on pro bono matters, where we help on immigrant detention cases, other civil rights work, housing fairness.
It is our absolute thrill to accept the Beacon of Justice Award from NLADA. Thank you so much to NLADA and to the magnificent April Fraser Kamara and her entire team.
From advocating for refugees to defending the constitutional rights of children, Wiley strives to serve in the areas where we can make the most impact.
At Nelson Mullins, our national pro bono program is committed to empowering vulnerable communities and promoting equity. In 2023, we focused on systemic reform in schools, prisons, and cities across the country. We challenged unjust prosecution and exploitation.
Oftentimes our clients were juveniles at the time of incarceration, and they did not receive adequate representation. We often find racial bias and constitutional errors play an unfortunate role in both their trials and sentencing, resulting in unreasonably long prison sentences.
There was this opportunity for so many individuals who had been incarcerated since they were juveniles to be heard and have their sentence possibly changed, but it would be really difficult to do that without an attorney and without legal help.
We were able to obtain a preliminary injunction from the judge, who wrote a 60-page opinion that really had some rousing rhetoric about the importance of First Amendment rights.
As the daughter of immigrants who did not have counsel representing them when they came to America, I actually was there to witness my mother's naturalization process. It's definitely important to provide that kind of insight to people new to the country, new to the language.
We just found out last week that his asylum application was actually granted, which is incredibly exciting, and it was one of the most thrilling moments I've had as a lawyer to be able to call him and tell him that it was approved.
For 200 years, the town of Fredericksburg, Maryland, had never had a Black elected official due to the town's at-large election system, which diminished and diluted the influence of the Black vote. In 2023, Crowell and the ACLU of Maryland filed a Voting Rights Act lawsuit in federal court in Maryland on behalf of Black residents, the Caroline County branch of the NAACP, and the Caucus of African American Leaders, challenging the election system as racially discriminatory.
One of the things that has really amazed us about making the Homeless Youth Handbook come to life is to be able to work with entities that share our commitment to making the world a better place.
Many thanks to NLADA for recognizing Dechert this year with this wonderful award. I'm delighted that in the more than a decade that Dechert has been working with Freedom Now, I think we've had easily more than 100 people working as part of what I would consider a signature relationship for our firm.
At Yetter Coleman, it is our privilege and our culture to give back in ways that benefit the lives of our most vulnerable populations while strengthening communities nationwide. We are deeply honored to receive the 2024 Beacon of Justice Award.
And I am so thankful to be part of an organization that cares so deeply about human rights and creating opportunities for us to partner with great nonprofits to provide legal representation to defend human rights for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to have legal representation.
Mint is so proud to be receiving the Beacon of Justice Award again this year with so many deserving law firms throughout the country. We're particularly proud for the focus area this year of civil and human rights, two focus areas that Mint has been providing pro bono legal services in for decades.
This work is not for the faint of heart. It takes creativity and commitment. King & Spalding and its talented lawyers are eager to take on work like this for future clients. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt who said the best prize in life is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. This is worth doing.
In sum, these are the bedrocks of our firm culture, and we're so thankful to NLADA for the recognition of not only our firm, but all of the great endeavors in pursuit of justice and equality by the awardees we celebrate here with today. It's so great to be with you, and thank you so much.
Well, as I'm sure you can tell, that's an incredible diversity of work being done by the private bar. The Beacon of Justice awardees videos are playing this evening around on the videos and will be available to watch and share soon on the NLADA website. NLADA will also publish a digital book outlining the path-breaking work of these 40 firms. So on behalf of NLADA and all of us in the legal justice community, Congratulations again to this year's Beacon of Justice awardees.